Hi, everyone. We're the Pass the Time Players, and we want to welcome you this evening to our new story, The Tale of Peter Rabbit. Now, before we get started, we would like to invite you to like our Facebook page and follow our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming stories. But let's not delay any longer. Let's meet our cast. My name is Debbie, and I will be your narrator.
Hello, I'm Karen Ann. I'll be Mother Rabbit.
Hi, I'm Tony, and I am Peter.
Hi, I'm Greg, and I'm going to be Mr. McGregor.
All right, now let's sit back, get comfy, and enjoy the tale of Peter Rabbit. Once upon a time, there were 4 little rabbits. Their names were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. They lived with their mother in a sandbank underneath the root of a very big tree.
My dear children, you may go into the field, you may go down the road, but remember, don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden.
Why?
Peter, I have told you 1,000 times, your father had an accident there. He was put into a pie by Mrs. McGregor. So stay away from that garden. Now, run along and don't get into mischief. I'm going to the market, so be good.
Then Mother Rabbit took a basket and her umbrella and set off for the market. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail were good little bunnies. They always listened to their mother and went down the lane to gather blackberries. Now, Peter, well, he was a little different. Not really bad, but very curious and mischievous.
I think I'll go straight to Mr. McGregor's garden, have some fresh vegetables for my lunch, and then bring a few home for my mother to cook for dinner. I'm sure she won't mind. After all, I will be helping with dinner. I'll just sneak under Mr. McGregor's gate and then be gone before he ever sees me.
But once inside the garden, Peter couldn't resist all the delicious fresh vegetables. First he ate some lettuce, then some French beans, and then he ate a whole pile of radishes.
Oh, man, I feel sick. I think I ate too much. I'll go and look for some parsley.
But just as he was rounding the edge of the cucumber frame, who should he meet but Mr. McGregor?
Oh, I'm just about finished with planting these young cabbages. Hey, but what is that? Hey, you come back here. Stop, thief.
Mr. McGregor began chasing poor Peter, who was most dreadfully frightened. He rushed all over the garden, but he had forgotten the way back to the gate.
Oh, no! I've lost one of my shoes among the cabbages and another shoe among the potatoes. My mom's going to be so upset, but I can't go back.
After losing his shoes, he ran on his 4 little legs and was able to go much faster. But unfortunately, he ran right into a gooseberry net and got caught by the big buttons on his jacket. Now, it was a blue jacket with brass buttons. His mother had spent many evenings sewing this for Peter.
Oh no, I'm stuck!
He struggled to get free with no success. Oh, Peter began to cry. He shed big tears. His sobs were overheard by some friendly sparrows who encouraged Peter to stop crying and think. He could figure this out. Mr. McGregor came up with a rake, which he intended to pop upon the top of Peter's head. But Peter figured a way out just in time. He wriggled out of his jacket, leaving it behind. He rushed into the tool shed and jumped into a watering can. Oh, it would have been such a beautiful thing to hide in if it had not had so much water in it. Peter was soaked.
Little rabbit, I'm quite sure you're hiding somewhere in this tool shed. I will turn over each and every flower pot till I find you.
Ooh, Mr. McGregor began turning over every flower pot in the shed. Peter stayed very quiet. Suddenly, his nose began to itch. And then,
Achoo!
oh, Peter sneezed.
Aha! I got you now.
Oh, Mr. McGregor moved quickly to grab the watering can, but Peter was faster and quickly jumped out of the watering can and began searching for a way out. Mr. McGregor was after him in no time and tried to put his foot upon Peter, but Peter saw his way to escape and jumped out the window, upsetting 3 plants along the way. The window was too small for Mr. McGregor, and he was tired of running after Peter. He went back to his work in the garden, mumbling all the way that he would get that little rabbit next time.
Whew. I must sit down and take a rest.
He was out of breath and trembling with fright. He didn't have the slightest idea which way to go. Also, he was very damp from being in that watering can. After a time, he began to secretly wander about the garden, being very careful to stay away from Mr. McGregor.
How lucky, I found a door in the wall. Oh, but it's locked, and there's no room for a fat little rabbit like me to squeeze underneath.
An old mouse was running in and out and over the stone doorstep, carrying peas and beans to her family in the woods.
Hey, little mouse, can you help me get into the gate?
She was in such a large pea in her mouth that she couldn't answer. She only shook her head at him. Once again, Peter began to cry.
Now what do? I should have listened to my mother. Well, I just can't sit here and wait to be put into a pie. I've got to find my way out of this.
Then he tried to find his way through the garden, but he became more and more puzzled. Presently, he came to a pond where Mr. McGregor filled his watering cans. A white cat was staring at some goldfish. She sat very still, and now and then the tip of her tail twitched as if it were alive. Peter thought it best to go away without speaking to her. He had heard all about cats from his cousin, little Benjamin Bunny.
I better go back towards the tool shed.
But suddenly, he heard the noise of the hoe. Scritch, scratch, scratch, scritch. Peter ducked underneath the bushes.
Oh no, it's Mr. McGregor hoeing onions.
Mr. McGregor's back was turned towards Peter, and there, just beyond him, was the gate.
I have to go very quietly, but run as fast as I can to get to that gate.
Mr. McGregor caught sight of him just as Peter was scurrying under the gate. Oh, he was safe at last in the woods outside the garden.
You escaped this time, little rabbit, but you won't be so lucky next time. I'll use your little jacket and shoes for a scarecrow to frighten the blackbirds. You better not come back to my garden.
Oh, Peter never stopped running or looked behind him till he got home at the big, big fir tree.
I am so tired. I'm going to rest on this nice soft sand on the floor of the rabbit hole, and I think I'll sleep for a while.
Peter's mother was busy cooking, but noticed Peter resting on the floor.
Wonder where Peter's clothes are. That's a second jacket and pair of shoes he's lost this week.
She shook her head and went back to cooking dinner. After all, it was Peter. That evening, as they all gathered around the table to enjoy dinner, Peter was not feeling very well.
I'll put you to bed. Now, drink this chamomile tea. You'll feel much better in the morning.
Ah, thank you, Mother. It tastes so good, and I feel so much better now.
Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail enjoyed a delicious dinner of bread, milk, and blackberries. Peter fell asleep, promising to never go back to Mr. McGregor's garden ever again. Of course, it was Peter Rabbit. The end. Thank you for joining us this evening. We hope you enjoyed the tale of Peter Rabbit. Now remember, like us on Facebook and follow us on our YouTube channel. And until the next time, we are the Pass the Time Players. Bye.